Hi everyone. In today's lecture we will discuss about creation of an object in Java. So let's discuss how to create an object. So basically object can be created by using new keyword and constructor of that class. Okay, as we have already discussed that the memory for instance variables will be allocated during object creation time. So in Java applications, instance variables can be accessed by using object reference. And in order to get the object reference, we have to create a object for the class, right? Otherwise the reference will be what? Null. So now let's see the syntax to create an object in Java. Fine. So this is the syntax to create an object in Java. You have to provide the class name, then you have to provide the object reference variable name equal to new, then you have to provide the class name and then parenthesis. Okay, this is what the syntax to create objects in Java applications. Clear with this? In order to understand better this syntax, let's take one example. So I have this example here. Demo d is equal to new demo parenthesis. Fine. Now, what is d here and what is this statement new demo parenthesis? Fine. So see, this d is nothing but an object name, or you can say the object reference variable name. And this new demo parenthesis is what? Object creation statement. Okay. And this is what basically object reference variable which points to the created object. So when the JVM will encounter the above instruction, this instruction, okay, then JVM will create an object for the specified class with the following steps. What is the specified class here? Demo. So when the JVM will encounter this statement, okay, then the JVM will create an object for this demo class with the following steps like creating memory, generating identities for the object, and then providing initial values to the object. Fine, these three steps will take place. I hope you're clear with this point. Now, as we know that what? Non-static variables get memory location in heap area by JVM when object is created. This is the known thing, right? In the last lecture itself, we have discussed about these things. Now, let's see one example. So I have here the class demo, and I have two instance variables here. I have declared two instance variable. One is what? Int a, another one is what? Int b. And then I have public static void main method. Argument is what? String array args. And inside this I have this line demo d is equal to new demo parenthesis. Fine. Now let's understand what is demo here, what is d here, what is new here, and what is demo parenthesis here. Fine. So demo is what? A user defined class name. D is what? A reference variable. New is what? A keyword, or you can say it is an operator. Okay, it is what? An operator in Java. Fine. And this demo parenthesis, this is what? A constructor. This is what? A constructor of the class. Fine, you are calling an constructor of a class from here. So now what's the use of this new keyword or new operator? Basically the new operator is used to create an object. Okay, what is the use of new operator? It is used to create an object. After creating an object, constructor will be executed to perform initialization of the object. Take one note here. Constructor is not for creation of object and it is for initialization of object. Who is responsible for the creation of object? This new operator. When the JVM will see this new, then JVM will create an object in the heap area. Okay. And then this constructor is responsible to perform initialization of the object. I hope this much is clear to you. Now let's see the story when JVM will encounter this line. This line, okay? What will happen behind the scene? So here new is what? An operator. Demo parenthesis is what? constructor of demo class, right? And this complete thing is what? Object creation statement. So when the JVM will execute this statement, then because of the new operator, one demo class object will be created in heap area. Okay, this object got created in heap area because of this new operator, and a separate copy of instance variable will be created as a part of this created object, right? What were the instance variables in the last PPT we have seen? A and B, right? So the separate copy of the instance variable will be created as a part of this created object. Now JVM will execute this constructor, that is demo parenthesis, right? It is basically a default constructor with only one line, that is super method call. A default constructor in Java is created automatically by the Java compiler when the programmer doesn't specify any constructor in the entire program. So as we have seen the program, we were not defining and we were not giving the body to this demo parenthesis, right? We were not defining the constructor. So in this case, what will happen? Compiler will create automatically this constructor for you, right? And basically this is created to assign default values to the instance variables of the class when an object is created. So now the JVM will provide default value to the instance variables, that is a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 0, right? So I am assuming that 1101 is the object reference here, also called as the object base address. So after the object creation and initialization, its reference is stored in the destination reference variable D. Okay, like this. Fine. So this D has what? This D has the object reference of this created object. Clear with this point? And you know one more point here, that object reference is returned by the new keyword. Remember this point. This object reference is what? Returned by this new keyword. I hope now it is clear to you. Now let's move to the next. Now suppose I am creating three objects of same class. So I have to write like this, right? Three times. And see the reference is difference D1, D2 and D3. So what will happen in this case? So three objects will be created in heap area like this. Okay. And for every object, a separate copy of instance variables will be created. Am I right? And when the JVM will execute the default constructor, which is basically created automatically by the JVM compiler, then JVM will assign the default values to the instance variables of the class when an object is created, right? Like this. Okay, see the default value got assigned to this variables. Fine. So this is explicitly done by the JVM. You are not setting up the values. Am I right? And then what will happen here? The reference is what? D1, D2 and D3. These are the references for this created object in the heap area. So I hope this thing is now clear to you. Now tell me, is this object making any sense? All objects are duplicate, right? In fact, these objects are of no use as the value is set to 0 for every instance variable. Then what is the use of this, right? The state should be properly defined, or the state should vary from object to object, right? In the real time scenarios. And in fact here the JVM is doing this initialization explicitly, but I don't want this behavior. I want that, okay, I am the user, so I want to define the state of this object, right? So in order to initialize the values to the instance variables of class as per our requirement when an object is created, we should go for parameterized constructor or setter methods. So here we will use parameterized constructor. Now let's see one program in the Eclipse. So go to the Eclipse IDE. I have this oops concept project. I have this package.com.naveen. Right click here, new, and then creating a class. So I want to create a book class, book. I want the public static void main method, finish. Now inside this class, I want to declare three instance variables. First one is a string, book name. The second one is a string, author. The third one is what? Float, price, right? So these three are the instance variables. Now, in order to create the constructor here, you can do like this. Right click here, source, then see here, generate constructor from the super class. So you can generate this constructor, which is basically a no R constructor. Okay, no R constructor. And when you are not providing any constructor, so internally the compiler is generating this constructor only, this type of things, the same thing. Okay, and then I want to take one more constructor, that is what? A parameterized constructor. So source, generate constructor using field. I want all these fields, so I can set the values, right? Remove this super call here, not required. Now here I want to create an object. So book 1, new book. So I want to call this constructor, which is having the argument here. So first I want to pass the book name, right? So I'm passing the book name like core Java here, core Java. Second is what? Author name. So suppose I'm passing here the author name as Naveen. And the third is what? Float price. So price I want to pass like 250.5f, right? So this is what? One object got created in the heap area. Now I want another object also. So I can copy this same thing. So Control Alt down arrow, and I can change the reference. Now it is book 2, and the book name is what here? Suppose Python, and the author is Shrikant, and the price is suppose 150.5f, right? So now the second object got created in the heap area, and the reference is book 2. So if you want to check this whether it is created or not, so sys out println, take one more, okay, and I want to just print the book name. So what is the book name present in the first object? That is what? Book 1. So book 1 dot book name. And what is the book name that is present in the second object? That is book 2 dot book name. Fine. Now do a right click here, run as Java application. See, core Java and Python. So it is proved that the object got created and this values got initialized. How it got initialized? See, this dot book name is referring to this instance variable. So whatever you are passing from here, it is going to this book name, and we are setting up this into this instance variable, right? So this is the flow. We will understand this when we will learn the concept. Don't worry. Now go back and see. This is the same program I have taught to you just now. So this is the heap area. Inside this, two objects got created and the copy of the instance variables got created, right? Here see, the copy got created, and when the JVM will execute this constructor, which is basically what? A parameterized constructor, then the initialization will take place, and whatever values you are passing inside the constructor, that got initialized. Means the book name is equal to core Java, the author is Naveen, and price is equal to 250.5. Same goes for this second object also. And what are the reference variables? Book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is referring to this object and book 2 is referring to this object. And how can we access? We have seen here, right? That book 2 dot author will give you this value. Book 2 dot price will give you this value. I hope now it is clear to you that how can we create an object in Java. So thanks for watching this video. Please like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel.